Even if you haven't seen their films, you know these characters.
Be careful what you wish for, punk.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today, we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most parodied movie characters. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at famous big screen characters who are often parodied in other films. The parodies can be any aspect of the original character, including their lines, appearances, and voices, among others. Number 10, Travis Bickle, Taxi Driver.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Travis Bickle is the unhinged protagonist of Taxi Driver, and his legacy has remained sturdy since the movie's release in 1976. Perhaps its most famous scene is when Travis talks to himself in a mirror, a sequence that has been parodied in countless media throughout the years.
Are you talking to me? Yes.
The famous "You talkin' to me" line is referenced in literally hundreds of movies and TV shows, from The Office all the way to WrestleMania promotions. Travis's signature mohawk has also been parodied, although it isn't nearly as common. Some people may not know who Travis Bickle is, but they certainly recognize his likeness and lines. Number 9, Norman Bates, Psycho. Psycho contains one of the most famous sequences in cinematic history, so of course it's been parodied to death. For like the three of you who might not know, Norman murders Bates Motel guest Marion in the shower, and it comes complete with lots of violin screeches. While you could argue it's the scene itself that is parodied and not the character of Norman, he and his jerky arm movements are seen as an integral part of the scene. However, other aspects of his character are parodied as well, such as his spying on Marion through a peephole and his physical appearance as Mother.
Coming, mother!
Number 8, Dr. Hannibal Lecter, The Silence of the Lambs.
I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Hannibal Lecter is another horror icon that has been endlessly parodied throughout the years. Perhaps most parodied are his stilted mannerisms and style of speech, especially the way he talks about eating human liver.
We ate our caddy, turned him into a taco bowl with a nice Diet Coke.
Others parody the statuesque manner in which he stands in his glass cell, and the famous moment that sees him adorned with a protective face mask. Even a simple line like "Good evening, Clarice" is enough to generate endless references and parodies, even though the actual line is often misquoted. Such is the acting prowess of Anthony Hopkins, we suppose.
Hello, Clarice. It's good to see you again.
Number 7, Harry Callahan, The Dirty Harry franchise.
You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
Harry Callahan is the famous SFPD homicide inspector portrayed by Clint Eastwood in Dirty Harry. And while his loose cannon personality trait and unorthodox policing style have been endlessly copied, there's one specific scene in the franchise that has been parodied to death.
The question is, do you feel lucky, punk?
The famous "Do I feel lucky" speech, it's another famous line that is often misquoted, usually said as "Do you feel lucky?" rather than "I." Regardless, this moment has been copied in the likes of Borat, Scary Movie 2, and Bruce Almighty.
I know what you're thinking. Did I fire 3 shots or 117? Well, do you feel lucky, punk?
Even if you've never seen Dirty Harry, you could probably replicate it pretty accurately, as that's how firmly ingrained into the zeitgeist it is.
44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world. I'm not Clint Eastwood.
Number 6, Tony Montana, Scarface.
Say hello to my little friend!
Tony Montana is kind of a parody himself, but he's just so ridiculous and over the top that subsequent filmmakers couldn't help but make fun of him. Al Pacino's Cuban accent is obviously a major point of contention, and it has been ceaselessly parodied by comedians throughout the years. But perhaps the most famous quote of the movie is, "Say hello to my little friend," which is yelled right before Montana blasts away some goons with a grenade launcher. This specific line has been parodied from comedies like Ace Ventura and Epic Movie to family flicks like Shark Tale. The imitations are truly boundless.
Well, say hello to my little friends!
Number 5, The Terminator, the Terminator franchise.
I'll be back.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is one of the most imitated celebrities in existence, but despite his dozens of starring roles, it always comes back to Terminator. Whether it's the first Terminator or its beloved sequel, Schwarzenegger's T-800 has been spoofed numerous times. Various aspects of his character are played upon, including his robot vision, his voice, and his expressions, such as "I'll be back" and "Hasta la vista, baby."
Hasta la vista, baby.
Those specific quotes have appeared in a wide variety of multimedia formats, including Futurama, The Golden Girls, and Seinfeld. Hell, even Schwarzenegger himself has referenced his quotes in some of his other movies. Now that's just next level spoofing.
I'll be back. I'll be back, Benny.
Number 4. James Bond, the James Bond franchise.
I admire your luck, Mr.
Bond. James Bond.
Bond. James Bond. Now, how many times have you heard that? This is easily one of the most oft-repeated lines in movie history. But when it's being referenced or made fun of in other films, then characters swap out Bond with their own names.
Clark!
The name is Man. Superman.
Ferris Bueller does just this while talking to Cameron as he walks into the kitchen looking suave and sophisticated.
Bueller. Ferris Bueller.
The James Bond actor and franchise formula are also the subject of numerous movie and TV spy spoofs, including the Austin Powers series, Get Smart, Archer, and Johnny English. James Bond wasn't the first spy in fiction, but he's certainly the most popular and parodied.
Johnny English, I'm here to see Pegasus.
Number 3. Rocky Balboa, the Rocky franchise. Many of the characters on this list have been larger-than-life, highly fictitious characters that lend themselves perfectly to parody. Not so with Rocky Balboa. And yet, despite his everyman personality and characterization, nearly every aspect of his character has been parodied. Many comedians have done Sylvester Stallone imitations, with Rocky often being the go-to character. The series' famous training montages have also been the subjects of parody, as is the scene where Rocky downs some raw eggs, as well as when he punches a slab of meat in a freezer. Perhaps it's his everyman nature that makes him so relatable and spoofable. That and his instantly recognizable voice.
I gotta do what I gotta do.
Number 2. Vito Corleone, the Godfather franchise.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Talk about an instantly recognizable voice. Marlon Brando's performance of Vito Corleone is arguably one of the finest performances in film history, as the actor completely transformed himself to become the character. This includes putting on that recognizably soft and accented voice that is so often parodied in film and TV.
We'll make him an offer he can't refuse.
I was just gonna say that.
His likeness and voice have been spoofed in hundreds of pieces of pop culture, all the way from Family Guy, of course, to Zootopia, a movie meant for children who have most certainly not seen The Godfather. Yep, kids are still being subjected to Godfather spoofs nearly 50 years later. That's how you spot a timeless character.
Ma, then I have only one request. Say hello to Grandmama.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions.
You're my girl.
I'll always be your girl.
Hi, Forrest. I know you just got back from Vietnam and you love me, but I'm gonna go run a train with this group of Black Panthers I just met.
Okay, Jenny.
Hold on a second. You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
Do you want to know the truth? You can't handle the truth!
Hey, that's Jack Nicholson.
I see dead people.
Hey there, little fella.
I see dead people.
That's nice.
Number 1. Darth Vader, the Star Wars franchise.
Wait! What happened? Where are they? I don't know, sir.
Many Star Wars characters have become iconic, and while Yoda's speech pattern is endlessly spoofable, we must give the top spot to Darth Vader. Darth Vader references have appeared in hundreds, if not thousands, of pieces of entertainment, which have spoofed everything from his outfit, to his deep voice and breathing, to his famous line, "No, I am your father."
No, oh, hang on. Spoiler alert! Okay, no, I am your father.
The latter has been humorously and erroneously imitated so many times that people believe the line to be, "Luke, I am your father," which is yet another instance of legacy and spoof overshadowing the real thing. Not only is he arguably cinema's most iconic villain, but he's also easily one of the most parodied movie characters of all time.
No, Buzz. I am your father.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.